In today's video, we're going to take a look at two very similar knives from two different brands from the same parent company, kind of like maybe Chevrolet and Pontiac. I don't know, so we'll call them the Camaro and the Firebird. We're going to look at the Oldtimer 160 OT Mountain Lion and the Uncle Henry 153 UH Golden Spike. We'll take a look at both of these. I'll tell you which one I like best coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. Sorry, I got ants on my hand. I was getting the old stump top ready down there for the video, and apparently there is a gigantic tribe of ants living in it that I disturbed somehow. And so now, I'm not so sure the stump top's happening today. We'll see. But what is that, like 15 seconds in and I'm rambling, so please forgive me. So anyway, let me just set this over here, try not to bump the camera too much. I'm using my camera tripod to hold up my thermocell because the mosquitoes were rampant this afternoon. So, and I just kind of, hopefully I can balance the sheaths on here, but I digress again. Let me just get to cut to the chase. So I actually got in touch with the folks at Schrade/BTI Tools a while back and asked them to send me a whole bunch of knives to get ready for the Schrade Saturdays for the year. And I picked out a couple to compare because I thought they looked really similar. And you can see that. This is the, once again, is the Oldtimer Mountain Lion. And it's like a traditional clip point style hunting knife. And this is the Uncle Henry Golden Spike. Now if you put them together, you can see they look very similar. Not exactly similar. The blades are not exactly the same, but they are really close. This one's got a little more sweep here. So anyway, what I thought we'd do is we'll talk about the specs of these. We'll compare them, and I'll tell you, one of them I definitely like better, and I'll tell you which one it is. People are always asking me which one's better, what's best. So of these two, I'm going to tell you which one I like better, and I'll tell you why. So no more rambling. Let me get to the specs here. We'll talk about those specs real quick, and I'm going to kind of do it up here instead of down the stump top to maybe give the ants a little time to, I don't know, go back to whatever the ants do when they're not annoying me. So first of all, let's take a look at the Oldtimer Mountain Lion. Okay, so let me get out of the way here. You can see this. First of all, this is a full Tang knife. Let's get that right out of the back. So you can see the Tang runs all the way through. It runs through the bolster and into all the way. So full Tang knife. So the Oldtimer Mountain Lion features a 5-inch, or for those of you who don't have a flag on the moon, 12.7 centimeter clip point blade of 7CR17 high carbon stainless steel, and a man, I'm going to get some comments now. A 4.7 inch or 10.9 centimeter handle of the Oldtimer saw cut slabs, which is really some sort of plastic. This is not like actual bone or whatever it is, obviously. It has an overall length of 9.3 inches or 23.6 centimeters and has a nickel silver finger guard here and weighs 6.9 ounces or 195.6 grams. Comes with a brown leather belt sheath, and the retail on this at the time of this video on Amazon is about 25 bucks. So show you that. While we're on this, let me show you the belt sheath. So it's nothing crazy fancy about it, but it's a pretty solid belt sheath, very well welted, sewn and riveted, and then it's got just a snap closure to secure the handle, and a big loop to go on your belt, which will fit pretty much any belt you got. One thing I did notice about this one is that the blade does not want to go all the way, seat all the way in, and I'm going to try to get it there. I think once, I don't want to slice anything, cut my hand, but it's not going all the way in. It only goes that far, but it is enough to secure it with the snap. So if I have to ding anything on this knife, that's going to be it right there. So that's the Oldtimer Mountain Lion. Let's compare the Uncle Henry Golden Spike. The Uncle Henry 153 UH Golden Spike, let me step out of the way here, features a 5-inch clip point blade of 7CR17 high carbon stainless steel. Again, that's 12.7 centimeters. With a 4.4 inch or 11.17 centimeter stagline handle with nickel silver bolsters and pommel. And you can see the screw there for the pommel, which holds this onto the Tang. an overall length of 9.4 inches or 23.87 centimeters, and it weighs about 6.3 ounces or 178.6 grams. This one also comes with a leather belt sheath. It's a little bit different. This belt sheath has a pouch on front of it. But essentially the same type construction with a snap retention strap. And this one does, if you get it lined up right, it goes in all the way and snaps like so. And then it's got this snap pocket on front with well, you can't get the stone out with the knife in, with a sharpening stone that, yeah, you know, probably not a genuine Arkansas oil stone. I'll just say it that way. But it would be probably, if you nick your blade up or whatever, it's probably going to help with that. So, but one thing you did notice is this screw here. This one is not a full tang. This is a rat tail tang, which is a very traditional way to make a hunting style knife, but in my opinion, certainly not as strong as a full tang. So, and again, this what are they calling this? Stag line, I think. It's just some sort of plastic. I mean, you know, it's not real stag, real antler or anything else. So, but let's but it does fit into the sheath pretty well, pretty easily. It goes all the way down. So, and again, the Amazon price. If I didn't say it, the Amazon price on this one at the time of this video is also about 25 bucks, give or take a quarter. So, got these two here. So what I thought we'd do now is try to go down these two here. So let me see if the ants have settled down. If so, we'll take you down the old stump top real quick, get to doing a little bit of that knife stuff, and then, you know, I got to check the balance, right? We'll check the balance on these two, and I'll tell you which one I like the best if you haven't already guessed, and we'll wrap this thing up. Lord have mercy, the ants are kind of settled down. I got mosquitoes, I got yellow jackets floating around here. This wildlife here in this wilderness I'm in is amazing. So I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way for now. Take a look at the knives themselves. So since this is not a full tang knife, I'm not gonna baton with it. We could baton with this one, but you know what? I'm really thinking about that. Not that I have anything against batoning, not that I don't think it is a useful technique that can come in handy, and it's just another option to have. But I don't really know what it proves to take a piece of wood that I've cut and split and drive a wedge through it by hitting the top of it with drive a knife through it by hitting it with another piece of wood. That just doesn't really seem to me to do a whole lot. As an example, I mean, I can just does that really prove anything? It's chances are it's not going to damage the edge, because once the guess what kind of grind this is? Actually, they both are. So I'll let you figure that one out. It did have kind of a hollow sound when I tapped it, though, didn't it? So anyway, I don't really know that once this thicker part gets into the wood, then you got a split open in front of it. So the edge is probably not even touching anything at that point. So it doesn't really test the edge very much. Cross grain batoning certainly would, but you know, chances are you're not going to need to use your knife for that. And if you do, just make sure you have a full tang knife. So, but I do think that carving is a good thing to do. We're going to do that now. I'm going to try this, see if we can just do a little bit of feathering, because I like to make those feathers. You know I do. Find camera right here, let's just see. So this is the Uncle Henry. I'm sorry, this is the Old Timer. And that hollow grind does some really nice little curls. And this kind of a sweep here is probably really good for skinning. It seems to be sharper back here than up here. The grind is a little, you can't see it, but there's no way I can focus in on it. The grind's a little uneven, just a little, but probably not enough to matter. But for the regular old knife stuff, it's pretty easy to use. See if I can I got a little bit, almost a choil here, not really a choil, but there's an unsharpened area there. You can kind of get your finger in if you're really, well, what's going to happen if I'm not real careful, I'll slide it up onto that part and cut the fire out of me. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to take it up here on this, try to see if I can get a little bit of action going on up here and see how this works. And because of the blade geometry, there's a shorter distance between the edge and the back here than there is here. Probably a little steeper angle, total angle there. That's just the reality of it. It's also a little thinner, so that kind of makes up for it, but it actually does pretty good. You can reach up there and work it with your thumb a little bit and really get some control to it. So there's that. You know where we're going next, right? Doesn't really feel like much of a sharp edge, but we'll give it a shot. You notice there's none of my favorite fat wood stuff here. We're just going to try it with just the wood. Or not. Let's see. Okay. So she works. We got a fire going. So that's the old timer. Set it to the side and let this burn itself out over here, and we'll try the Uncle Henry now. Just to be fair, even though I don't think it's a very good test, we'll go ahead and bang it through this wood here for a second just to see, make sure, even if it's a rat tang, see if it's going to break. Okay, not a big deal, right? Didn't think it was going to be a problem, but anyway. Now we'll take this one and see if we can carve some feathers with it. Get you out of the way. We don't want any of these old timer feathers here. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, nothing wrong there. Just fine. I don't know why I call them feathers. I guess curls would be more applicable, more accurate. I call them feathers because in the Boy Scouts we learned about making feather sticks, and I just make curls. It's a lot easier than trying to keep them on a stick, and they work just as good and they burn just as good. So let's just see what we get up here. We don't have nearly as much of a dead space here, so you gotta kind of really watch yourself, but this seems to have a really good belly up here. And if we push down, we can do some more controlled stuff here with our thumb like that, really get that tip in action and carve out some pretty precise stuff there, so not bad at all. So in the interest of time, you can see that it makes feathers. Let's see if it'll make some sparks. I didn't make as many feathers as I did last time, so I'm having a little harder time, but it's making some good sparks, so let's just give it a little more. And plus I'm knocking my stuff all over, because I know you're supposed to pull it. Everybody tells me you're supposed to do this and supposed to do that, but this is the way I do it. Okay, there you go. I can say overall I never really failed to get a fire in the woods because I was doing it the wrong way. So that's the Uncle Henry, and it works too. Okay, so that was some of the practical type testing, knife stuff with it. You know, I've actually, believe it or not, I've had people tell me that the only reason they watch these videos is for the balance testing, which I understand, because I do maintain here at the Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters probably one of the most cutting edge testing facilities in the knife world, and one of the premier components of this facility is the balance, orientation, and rotation device that I use to check the balance on every fixed blade knife anyway. So we got that here behind. We're going to check that now in just a minute. Let me go ahead and give you a couple of disclaimers. First of all, since this is a rat tail tang, and it does have what's probably some sort of a hollow type plastic handle, you know, if the device testing apparatus is not calibrated right, and this thing does not impact the testing surface properly, then I'm not going to be surprised if I get some breakage here, because it is it's not as sturdy. Same thing goes for this one, really. Even though it's a full tang, these handles are basically plastic and kind of a hollow, and they're pinned in. with they're actually screwed in. These are little covers on them, I think, because I have broken one before, having not improperly calibrated my device before testing. But all that being said, we're going to give a shot and check these things out. So we'll start with the Uncle Henry and we'll go to the old timer. They both stuck anyway. And no damage. Let's do it again. They look pretty balanced. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I gotta say, first of all, here they are. They both performed pretty well in the testing. They both did some minor batoning. They both did the curling. They both struck a ferro rod pretty well. They both actually passed the balance test pretty well. But I still have a favorite. And my favorite of these two is going to be the old timer, strictly because it is a full Tang knife. And I know that a full Tang knife is inherently stronger than a rat tail. There's just no way around it. It's just plain physics, you know. It's got more metal, stronger. So but either one of them could be a good choice. Again, they've been making rat tail knives for centuries probably, so they work pretty well. So anyway, both of them about 25 bucks. This one does come with the sharpening stone, which is, again, probably not the best stone in the world, but I gotta say I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I was kind of thinking it might not perform as well, and I was really concerned about the balance test because it's not a full Tang, but they both passed with flying colors. So once again, thanks to the folks at Schrade and BTI Tools for sending me these so I could show them to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. You can check out a new video right here, and if you're not subscribed, please click down in the corner right there and do so. I would really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.